Only 5 more minutes to go. to West Virginia University at Parkersburg. A large American flag proudly waves on the flagpole to your right. If you're able, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Vice President Brady Whipke and the singing of the national anthem performed today by WVU Parkersburg alumna Amanda DeBar Stevens. Then please be seated for greetings by Donna Smith, Esquire, Chair of the Board of Governors, and Elena Segsworth, President of the Student Government Association.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
This may not work well. I'll fix that later. Good afternoon, graduates, families, and friends. On behalf of the entire Board of Governors, I am very excited to be here in person with all of you to extend our sincere congratulations on your achievement as we honor you on this beautiful day. It has certainly been a very long time since we have all been together, and I know that some of you here today completed your degree a year ago, and it is wonderful to welcome you back to participate in the graduation ceremony today. In thinking about the year we have all just endured, I know it's been tough in a time when we have all been advised to avoid one another, not to lose sight of the humanity that binds us together. And there were often wonderful displays of humanity that surrounded us and perhaps gave us hope when we needed it most. And while I'm sure each of you can reflect and recall someone or something that made your life just a little more bearable this year, perhaps an instructor who extended a deadline on an assignment, a supportive classmate, or a helping hand when you needed it, here's an event that left an impression on me. You may recall that in February, a very unusual winter storm descended upon Texas and shut down the power grid in Houston, leaving thousands in the cold for days. There's a gentleman there, Jim McInvale, who owned a furniture store with a generator, who unlocked the doors of his 100,000 square foot store and invited anyone who needed a warm place to stay to shelter in his store, and hundreds did. In his subsequent TV interview, the reporter asked him why he did it, and he answered that in his youth he was taught that the essence of living is giving. And it struck me at the time I heard it that this was both a very simple yet profound statement of life. So as we stand here today for such a milestone occasion and celebrate your success, perhaps with greater exuberance for the sheer joy of being able to assemble together, I invite you, as you begin your career or continue your education, to share your talent and time with your community and to remember that very simple statement: the essence of living is giving. Congratulations to our 2020 and 2021 graduates, and good luck. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Elena Segsworth, President of the Student Government Association.
Good afternoon. I'm Elena Segsworth, the Student Government Association President, and I'd like to thank you for being here today to help us celebrate. I'd also like to say a few words to my fellow graduates. Good job, guys, we made it. We've added another accomplishment to the list of brilliant things we've already done. The best part is that I know this won't be the last. If we can accomplish great things during a worldwide pandemic, only God really knows the limits of what we'll achieve. No matter what happens to us next, let's let our success here at WVU Parkersburg be an encouragement and an example as we continue to make a difference in this world. It's now my pleasure to introduce WVU Parkersburg's president, Dr. Chris Gilmer.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Elena. And thank you, Elena, for your exemplary service this year as our student government president and as the student representative to the Board of Governors. Graduates, your guests, members of the stage party, Board of Governors Chair Donna Smith, Board of Governors Vice Chair Stephen Hardman and wife Terry, former Board of Governors Chair Sam Winans and wife Sandy, Foundation Chair Becky Dean McInnes and husband Jim, First Gentleman David Creel, elected officials and other presidential guests, students, administration, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends of WVU Parkersburg, welcome to our spring 2021 commencement. And let's all give a round of applause to the sky for opening up with some good weather for us today. This is the first large-scale face-to-face event we've held since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. WVUP was the first public university in West Virginia to announce a move to online instruction in March of 2020. And I'm happy to announce today that our current plan is to return to face-to-face instruction in the fall of 2021, using the summer as a period of transition. I've learned a decade's worth of leadership realities in 1 year. In the end, I've been guided by this single question and its answer. What is my most solemn responsibility as president of this institution? My answer: to keep the people who learn and work here safe and secure, above all else. Social distancing and the wearing of masks is not a political statement at WVU Parkersburg. It is a statement that we abide by public health guidance and state and federal guidelines, and that we do so because we care more about each other and the community as a whole than we care about ourselves as individuals. Thus, you'll see that we're observing social distancing in our seating today, and that the stage party will model wearing masks except when we're speaking. And we ask that while you're on campus, you'll follow the lead of our protocols approved by our Board of Governors, which includes social distancing and the wearing of masks, even outside in the case of such a large gathering, and even as we all anticipate with joy the day that we don't need to do it anymore. This is a happy day for me. Just as this milestone commencement coincides with the 60th birthday of our beloved university, it also represents the completion of my family's 3rd year as part of the WVU Parkersburg family and the beginning of the next chapter of our collective journey. As we plan a fall semester filled with observances of WVUP's Diamond Birthday, culminating in a community-wide birthday party in December, I want to recognize the honorary co-chairs of our birthday celebration, Terry Hardman, Kiki Angelos, Annette Fehrenbacher, and David Creel, if you'll stand to be recognized. And I also wish to thank the entire planning committee. In fact, if you'll turn and look over your shoulder, I believe we have a special guest arriving to help us formally launch our birthday celebration, our mascot, Ricky Riverhawk, who is being escorted today in a mighty snazzy car by friends of WVU Parkersburg, Norman and Judy Smith. Let's wave to Ricky and to Norman and Judy as they're escorting him today. And as Ricky makes his promenade, and if the West Virginia Brass Quintet is on ready, they're going to serenade us with their rendition of Happy Birthday. I won't ask the assembly to sing due to the mask requirement, but I'm sure in your hearts you join me in adding the phrase, many happy more. Let's salute Ricky the Riverhawk and Norman and Judy. Thank you, Ricky, and thank you for the music today, West Virginia Brass Quintet. Pride is overflowing here today, as well it should be. Pride on the part of the graduates in the significance of your own accomplishments, but equal pride on the part of those who love you and who sacrificed much for you to know a moment such as this. I expect you like the sound of that fancy car better than you like the sound of this less fancy president as Ricky makes his exit. Somewhere among this assembly is a mother who babysat her grandchild so that her son or daughter could go to class. Somewhere is a spouse who worked an extra shift to pay for textbooks. Somewhere is a veteran who served this nation and came home to pursue an education. And somewhere is a father who barred against his present to help create a better future for his child. I'm very proud of all of you. And since tomorrow is Mother's Day, I invite you all to read the column in the Parkersburg News and Sentinel today by our friend Kiki Angelos, who's talking about motherhood. And I invite you to join me in saluting and waving to all the mothers who made the event possible one day in advance of Mother's Day. Graduates, forget anything else I say to you today. That part will probably be easy. But keep these words in your memory. None of us reaches a moment like this alone. None of us reaches this moment without a legion of people supporting us, some known, many unknown, who began their sacrifices generations before you were even born. You have benefited from the additional support of the faculty and staff of WVU Parkersburg. Please join me in saluting all of these people for their role in your success. Keep in mind as you leave this place that you cannot always pay it backward, but you can always pay it forward. It will be your duty as newly minted college graduates to use your education and the well-deserved benefits it brings for some purpose greater than yourself, for some mission, whatever that may be and wherever it may take you, that is greater than all of us. In addition to academic and workforce knowledge, I hope we've taught you more. I hope we have taught you to be kind. I hope we have taught you to seek compromise while not being afraid to stand up for a worthy cause. I hope we've taught you to be honest, first with yourself, then with others, because difficult honesty will take you much further in life than easy insincerity. I hope we have taught you to work hard rather than to seek the quick and easy path, to share unselfishly of your many gifts without expectation for immediate reward. And I hope that you will show respect first to yourself and then to everyone around you. I hope that we've modeled to you and to each other that one of the defining characteristics of power is knowing when to use it and when not to use it. I hope we have taught you that failure is normal, an even desirable part of life, and that we often learn more from it than we learn from success. That while we do not want our ventures to end in failure, it is sometimes a necessary step on the journey to even greater success. These virtues I hope we have taught you not with our words, but with our deeds, modeling for you the behaviors of good citizenship. And speaking of good citizenship, I'm honored to award several major recognitions on behalf of the university. Today we award 4 honorary degrees, and 3 will be recognized at this time. First, we recognize and honor the distinguished service of Herschel Woody Williams, Medal of Honor winner, who served his nation faithfully during World War II, and who served as a previous commencement speaker at WVUP. Today, in his absence, we recognize Mr. Williams with the Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree for his patriotism. Mr. Williams had hoped to join us today, but for personal reasons could not be present, and we will formally present his degree at a later time. It is the custom of the WVUP Board of Governors to recognize the distinguished service of those who, as appointees of the Governor of West Virginia on our board, at the time their term ends. This year we recognize Cheryl Donahoe, who could not be with us today, and Sam Winans, who is here, along with his wife, Sandy. Sam, please join me on stage. Mr. Winans served as chair of the Board of Governors at the time I was chosen for the honor of serving as your president, so you can either thank him or blame him for that privately, whichever you think is more appropriate. For my part, Sam, I thank you, and I want to recognize publicly that you are a wonderful and supportive partner to me as chair of the board during my first year and as president, and handing off that responsibility to another devoted and exemplary chair, Donna Smith. And Donna, I ask you to join me at the podium. Donna and I extend our thanks to Cheryl and to Sam. Please join us in showing your appreciation, and we hope, Sam, that Country Roads will always bring you home. Thank you. Turn for a picture. The Bernard P. Mcdonough Foundation Outstanding Faculty Member of the Year Award is especially significant because it is selected by a committee of the faculty to recognize one of their own for distinguished service. And we do everything we can to keep it a secret until this ceremony. So I'll ask the recipient to tell me later if we succeeded this year. This year's unanimous selection is Dr. Melissa Missy Spivey, who's being promoted this year to the rank of full professor of education. Currently associate professor, Dr. Spivey also serves as field placement coordinator and accreditation coordinator for the Division of Education. She's an elected member of the Faculty Senate. In 2020, the Council for the Accreditation of Educator Preparation conducted a review of our education programs. Through Dr. Spivey's leadership, the program was one of only 9 in the nation to receive the Frank Murray Leadership Recognition for Continuous Improvement Award. Her nomination letter used words which I have personally observed in my interactions with Dr. Spivey: gentle, wise, mentor, supportive, hardworking, advocate, positive, friendly. Dr. Spivey, will you please join me on stage to be recognized with a certificate and a check for $1,000? And will Dr. Spivey's family, who if we have tried to hide in order to surprise her, please stand so that she can see you while she's being recognized. Thank you, Dr. Spivey. Did we surprise you? She tells me that it was a surprise, which makes it all the nicer. So, next, to have served a university community with such distinction that one is recognized with emeritus status is a signal accomplishment indeed. I'm going to call the names of those who are present and those who are not present, all nominated by a member of this community. Those present or represented by a family member, please join me on stage when the names are called. It grieves me to say that we have recently lost Professors Baker and Sarkarat, but they are both remembered and represented by members of their family today. And once again, we offer our condolences to their families and to all the families and friends of all the colleagues we have lost as members of our WVUP family. Receiving emeritus status from WVU Parkersburg this year with 125 years of combined service are Debbie Baker, professor, following 28 years of service. Is there anyone from Professor Baker's family? Dr. Cynthia Gissy, Associate Provost and Professor, following 21 years of service. Janice McHugh, Program Coordinator, following 21 years of service, and I do believe Janice is with us today. Could be wrong about that. Thought I saw her earlier. Cheryl Robinson, Professor, following 24 years of service. Congratulations, Cheryl. If you don't mind, let's take it and get a picture. Thank you. And Dr. Sai Sarkarat, Professor, following 31 years of service, if someone from his family would wish to come forward. For being with us today. Thank you. If you don't mind, could we make a photograph? Congratulations. And once again, the condolences of the university family. Thank you for having us. Thank you. Please join me in another round of much-deserved applause, honoring all of those recognized today. Formal recognition for years of service to the college for all employees, as well as all other awards, will occur in the fall. Will you please join me in a moment of silence to honor the memory of our friends and loved ones, and for all of those who have been lost during the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our distinguished commencement speaker. Well known to many of you, when I considered the invitation for this important role, I knew that this year our community did not need an accomplished stranger from afar. Our community needed an equally accomplished member of our own family so that in this moment when graduates, faculty, and staff have overcome unprecedented challenges to get here, you could be inspired by one of your own, an alumna of this institution who worked her own way through college with the tenacity and determination to achieve professional career goals usually reserved for college graduates even while she was a student. A young mother with big dreams in a small town, someone who would not allow powerful gatekeepers of society to shut her out because she was a woman, because she was young, or because she did not come from socioeconomic privilege. I tell you all without apology, if I had been granted a daughter in this lifetime, I would want her to have precisely the fearlessness, the compassion, the faithfulness, the loyalty, the creativity, the determination, and the beautiful humanity of today's speaker. I have watched her be a teacher, a mentor, and a surrogate parent to our students. In my view, this is precisely what an administrator should never cease to be, and I get credit for only this: recognizing a natural-born leader and having the good sense to empower her for leadership. You can read her formal biography in your program, but in this moment, I present to you with great pride and admiration, professional and personal, our own Dr. Tori Jackson.
Thank you, Dr. Gilmer, for those kind words, and most importantly, thank you for this opportunity. It is a real honor in the 60th anniversary year of WVU Parkersburg for me to get to address the graduating class. Now, I'll tell you what, I was a member of WVU Parkersburg, and I had a distinct honor to serve as the editor of the campus newspaper while still working at the Parkersburg News and Sentinel as a student during the 35th anniversary of this college. Please do not do that math. I want to let you know that as a young writer, there's something that's really important about that first byline that appears in a newspaper. And I don't know if it's ironic or if it might have been prophetic, but the first byline I had in the Parkersburg News and Sentinel many years ago was about this bell that stands before us, because it is the year that former art professor Henry Aglio decided to restore it. Since then, it is a symbol. We ring it at the beginning of every commencement. It's a symbol of our past, and you before us are a symbol of our present and our future. So it was always a distinct honor to have that as my first story. Now, some will joke that I was born in the pond out back. That is not true. And I have left WVU Parkersburg for many years. I had the opportunity to work in media for well over a decade before my road led me back to WVUP. Dr. Gilmer mentioned country roads, and I want to mention it to you in a different way. Throughout your life, you have driven on roads that are full of bottleneck turns and curves and narrow. And if you don't know that, drive through Pennsboro. That's where I live, and we'll tell you all about it. However, I want you to think as you leave today that you're not used to a highway that shows your destination at this moment. And where you think you're going to go, you have the opportunity to get there, even if it's not the same path that you thought it was going to be. Even if you have to take a turn down a different road, you still will arrive at an amazing destination if you keep going forward. And that is something that I would like to encourage you today. You know, I'm one who lives in a world of deadlines, and I have always enjoyed them. And I have always put deadlines on my own life. So by the time I was 25, I told myself I was going to be a newspaper editor. By the time I was 25, I was a newspaper owner, and I checked that. You know, it was close enough, right? So I am no longer a newspaper editor,
or an owner. And I tell you that so that you know I took a different turn. And my turn led me back to WVUP, and I am so thankful that it did. I realized this recently. I was standing outside of a courthouse on election night because in a pandemic, you're not allowed inside. I spent 5 hours in 35-degree weather waiting for results to come in for a bond election because I cared that much about the results. With me that night was an editor of a local newspaper who I used to work with. And I took just a moment and I thought about, what if I had stayed there? How would my life have been different? And then I saw another editor of another local newspaper who was a student of mine, who graduated from my program. And at that moment, I knew why I had chosen the path that I did, and it was because of students. And for me to be able to tell you about students, I'm actually going to do that. I believe what we need is often hidden in what we have, and you are proof of that. We're celebrating today 3 classes, the May 2020 class, the December 2020 class, and the May 2021 class. So let me tell you about a lady who decided that she was going to go back to school after one of her children had left the house and another one was in high school. She's about my age. She wasn't really ready to go back to school, but she knew that she had to take a curve in the road to get to the destination that she wanted. She didn't always enjoy all of the English essays. She didn't always enjoy the math or the science, but she persevered, and she graduated with an accounting degree in May of 2020. And Sherilyn Stallman, I want you to know that you inspire me. However, I want to tell you about another student. She's not here with us today, but she walked into my classroom years ago very quietly. She didn't say a lot to anybody, but she paid attention to all of us. And whenever a time came that it was somebody's birthday, she had cupcakes there, and they were the favorite kind of that person, and she never even had to ask. As I learned more about her, I learned that while she was in high school, she had a lot of responsibility. She was the one who was cooking the meals for her family. She is the one who was taking care of the laundry and the other people in the house. She had such responsibility, and it really, really allowed her to emerge as such a beautiful person. So Tony Grogg, December 2020 class, I salute you for that. I also want to talk to you about a student who came here from Haiti. He was in the December 2020 class, and he graduated with a welding degree. Willio Renee did not enjoy my College 101 class. It took weekly tutoring sessions for him to excel at it, and trust me, he did. He's the kind of man whose smile lights up a room, and he's a true delight to meet. And I want you to know that later this month, he's getting married to a lady from Pennsylvania, and he's going to make his home in St. Mary's, West Virginia. So that community is blessed to have him and his skills. There's a student who is graduating today who is as comfortable on a horse in a rodeo as she is in heels and a gown on a stage. She came to WVUP kind of by chance from Colorado, and she just showed up here, and I would say that it was our blessing to get to meet her. She already had a lot of skills. What we were able to do was just help hone those a little bit. Sarah Weeks, you have a very bright future ahead of you, and I'm excited to see where you're going to go. In today's class, we recognize 23 students who are receiving their Certificate of Applied Science, and they are in high school. We are recognizing 6 students who are receiving an Associate of Arts, and they are in high school. That means 60 college credit hours. I cannot wait to see what all of those students become, and to know that WVU Parkersburg has had a part in that makes me extremely proud. I want to tell you about 2 more students that I had the opportunity to meet this semester. They're in the CIT program, Computer Information Technology. I had them in a public speaking class. Travis Doss and Doug Tingler both came back to school after having been down many different paths. They had been at other institutions and they had worked in different jobs, but they hadn't found what really intrigued them until they came here, and they were able to even be an intern in the Learn and Earn program with Intiva. They have a very bright future, and they're very excited about the path that they found here. Doug Tingler, in his persuasive speech, was able to talk about why people should choose a community college, and in particular, he was a little biased to WVUP. I want to quote something he said. He said, WVUP has opened my eyes to what higher education should be like. He quoted affordability, a good learning experience, and a small class size. And he also had this quote. He said, the professors care about teaching. They want us to succeed. And then he said that he was WVU Parkersburg proud. You know that I am. These students prove what you need is hidden in what you have. We have the pleasure of helping them realize that. As these symbols of our present and our future get ready to cross this stage, know that each one of them has a story of accomplishment. We have a commercial that is running right now, and it allows our students and our alumni to talk about the institution. What they said is that here they were encouraged. Here they were accepted. Here they were pushed to succeed. And here they found a home. Mr. President, that makes me, WVU Parkersburg, proud.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. And I'm going to ask you, if you will, to come back to the podium, and I'm going to ask Chair Smith to join me as well. And we're going to present to you the highest honor academically that WVU Parkersburg can present as our commencement speaker today, the degree Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters. Thank you very much for those very inspiring words. And we all know that I'm WVU Parkersburg proud. Here's all the reasons. Here's all the reasons. Here's all the reasons. Just about any direction in which I could point. At this time, I'm going to invite our provost, Dr. Chad Crumbaker, to present the graduating class, and Executive Vice President Alice Harris and Vice President Dr. Stephen Smith will join me in awarding the degrees. To respect COVID-19 safety protocols, even though I come from Mississippi and will hug a tree when I'm excited, I'm going to avoid my natural instinct to shake hands or hug the graduates today so that I don't become a potential spreader to you of COVID-19. But it does not mean that I am any less proud. And I hope each of the graduates will pause briefly for a photograph. Dr. Crumbaker.
Will the candidates for certificates and associate degrees please stand and come forward?
We're just not used to it outdoors yet.
Derek W. Allen, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Alyssa Caitlin Barnes, Certificate of Applied Science, General Education. Darius T. Basta, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Morgan Cheyenne Bowman, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Mackenzie Ray Bird, Certificate of Applied Science, General Education. Damian Robert Caldwell, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing, cum laude. Corey Ryan Kasdorf, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Taylor Marie Casey, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Samantha Ann Casto, Associate of Applied Science, Child Development. Cynthia Marie Clemens, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing, cum laude. Sydney Drew Aaron Klein, Associate of Applied Science, Board of Governors. Caleb Isaac Cole, Associate of Applied Science, General Education, cum laude. Braylon Ashley Davis, Associate of Arts, Certificate of Applied Science, General Education, summa cum laude. Coretta Faith Davis, Associate of Arts, Certificate of Applied Science, General Education, cum laude. Haley Danielle Exline, Associate of Applied Science, Legal Studies, cum laude. Allison Ann Freeland, Certificate of Applied Science, Patient Care Technician. Rain Lynn Fritz, Certificate of Applied Science, General Education, cum laude. Nathan Cole Griegel, Associate of Applied Science, Multi-Craft Technology, Certificate of Applied Science, Electricity and Instrumentation, Certificate of Applied Science, Industrial Maintenance. Devin Michael Haid, Associate of Applied Science, Welding Technology. Charles R. Helmick III, Associate of Applied Science, Board of Governors. Madeline Eileen Hilvers, Associate of Applied Science, General Education, summa cum laude. India Rochelle Hodge, Associate of Applied Science, Child Development, Certificate of Applied Science, Child Development. Kaylee Marie Hollister, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Jordan Alexander Cole Irick, Associate of Applied Science, Business Administration. Adrian Faith Isaacs, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Shasta Ann Kearns, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Clifford Scott K. II, Associate of Applied Science, Drafting. Rose Mary Knight, Associate of Applied Science, Board of Governors, cum laude. Wyatt James Linder, Associate of Applied Science, Board of Governors, Certificate of Applied Science, Electricity and Instrumentation, Certificate of Applied Science, Residential and Commercial Electricity. Ryan Alexander Manley, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Kimberly K. Matheny, Associate of Applied Science, Board of Governors, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Pauline McCune, Associate of Science, Certificate of Applied Science, Patient Care Technician. Adriana Brooke Miller, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Stacy Ellen Miller, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Amanda Marie Mowry, Associate of Applied Science, Strategic Communication, summa cum laude. Darlene Geiseth Muelas Cruz, Associate of Applied Science, Business Administration, summa cum laude. Bailey Hope Nestor, Associate of Applied Science, Welding Technology, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Marie Parks, Certificate of Applied Science, Child Development. Daniel Wade Parsons, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Meredith D. Perkins, Associate of Science, Business Administration, cum laude. Brian James Proper, Associate of Applied Science, Board of Governors. Ariel Catherine Rebstock, Associate of Arts. Jacob Hale Rice, Certificate of Applied Science, Residential and Commercial Electricity, Certificate of Applied Science, Electricity and Instrumentation. Eliana B. Sias, Certificate of Applied Science, General Education, magna cum laude. Brandon Jonathan Lee Sisler, Associate of Applied Science, Computer and Information Technology. Michaela Ann Stackpole, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Alexis Mackenzie Starcher, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Nicole Ray Tallhammer, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Owen Nash Tidd, Certificate of Applied Science, Welding, summa cum laude. Jennifer Marie Valentine, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. I'll do the best. Aaron John Walker, Associate of Applied Science, Welding Technology. Dakota Michael Wayne, Certificate of Applied Science, General Education, summa cum laude. Cortland Noel Williams, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Emerald Alicia Workman, Associate of Applied Science, Computer and Information Technology. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees please stand and come forward? Elena Beth Segsworth, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Administration. Mary Kathleen Aquino, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Christine Marie Berg, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Darian K. Betts, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Julia Lee Blair, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Justice, magna cum laude. Morgan Michelle Bonnet, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Administration, cum laude. Jennifer Joanna Brofman, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Justice, Certificate of Applied Science, Business Administration, cum laude. Lindsay Marie Brookover, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Brandy Yvette Bush, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Ashley Megan Canterbury, Bachelor of Science, Business Administration, Associate of Applied Science, Business Administration. Morgan Taylor Carey, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Heather Nicole Carpenter, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education, Associate of Arts, magna cum laude. Allison Michelle Cartmill, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Melissa Sue Daly, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Seneca Dawn Donahue, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Administration. Annette M. Emmerich, Regents Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Hannah Elizabeth Faber, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Katie Marie Finnerty, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Paige Elizabeth Flanagan, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Nathaniel Brooks Flesher, Bachelor of Applied Science, Supervisory Management, magna cum laude. Rhonda Sue Gallion, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Serena Mae Graham, Bachelor of Science, Business Administration, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Administration, Associate of Applied Science, Legal Studies, Certificate of Applied Science, Legal Studies, magna cum laude. Sutherland Page Greenberg, Bachelor of Science, Business Administration. Brody William Grimes, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Justice, cum laude. Rochelle Kaylin Hamilton, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Vanessa Danielle Hedrick, Bachelor of Applied Science, Child Development, magna cum laude. William Frederick Hellman, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Administration. Chesney Renee Hudson, Bachelor of Arts, Multidisciplinary Studies. Lori Maxine Ice, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Justice. Shane Michael Johnson, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Tiffany Ann Johnston, Bachelor of Applied Science, Supervisory Management. Paige Mariah Leisure, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Justice, magna cum laude. Laura Jeanette Maidens, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Terry Eugene McDonald, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Justice, cum laude. Julia Ann Moore, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Michelle Renee Moore, Regents Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Christine Renee Morgan, Regents Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Raul Zavaleta Olivares, Jr., Regents Bachelor of Arts. Patricia Lynn O'Neill, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Brianna Dawn Pelfrey, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Nichelle Nicole Pidcock, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Justice. Candy K. Piles, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Justice, Associate of Applied Science, Criminal Justice. Elijah James Randolph, Bachelor of Science, Business Administration, cum laude. Baldev Krishan Singh Rathore, Bachelor of Applied Technology, Cybersecurity and Network Administration, magna cum laude. Karanveer S. Rathore, Bachelor of Applied Technology, Cybersecurity and Network Administration, magna cum laude. Chance Michael Rawson, Bachelor of Science, Business Administration, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Administration, cum laude. How you doing? Dylan Shane Reeder, Regents Bachelor of Arts. Jenna Lynn Robinson, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Administration. Kirsten Cheyenne Sams, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Lauren Grace Seckman, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education, magna cum laude. Aaron Christopher Serino, Bachelor of Applied Technology, Cybersecurity and Network Administration. Nathan Robert Settle, Bachelor of Applied Science, Criminal Justice, cum laude. Lindsay E. Schaefer, Bachelor of Science, Business Administration, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Shannon Lynn Stanley, Bachelor of Applied Science, Supervisory Management. Donatas Vasuskas, Bachelor of Applied Technology, Software Engineering, Associate of Applied Science, Computer Science, cum laude. Carrie Marie Weekly, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Administration. Sarah Christine Weeks, Bachelor of Applied Science, Communication and Media Studies, Associate of Applied Science, Strategic Communications, cum laude. Victoria Marie White, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Peyton Nicole Watring, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education, cum laude. Brian Lee Yetter, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Administration, Associate of Applied Science, Business Administration, Certificate of Applied Science, Business Administration. Amber Jo Yoke, Regents Bachelor of Arts. President Gilmer, on behalf of the faculty and by the authority vested in me, I certify that these candidates have met all requirements for all degrees. It is my great honor and pleasure to present them to you for confirmation.
Thank you, Provost Crumbaker, and I think he deserves a hand for reading all those names and doing such a good job. Graduates, please stand if you're able to do so. By the power vested in me by the West Virginia University at Parkersburg Board of Governors, the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission, the West Virginia Council for Community and Technical College Education, as president of WVU Parkersburg, I hereby confer upon you who have completed the requirements, the degrees or certificates for which you are candidates, with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereunto. You may now change your tassels. And I suggest that the dignity of this moment give way to a heartfelt round of applause and maybe even a few hoots and hollers in recognition of your many accomplishments. Good job, good job. You may be seated, graduates. There's one further personal accomplishment I wish to recognize here today. Our own Executive Vice President for Finance and Administration, Alice Harris, has recently earned her Master's of Business Administration degree from Louisiana State University, and I invite you to join me in applauding Alice for her inspirational accomplishment. Stand up, Alice. I never was good at left and right, so I would like to thank the Commencement Planning Committee and the entire university community for the diligent work and the support which made today possible under the direction of Chief of Staff Brady Whipke. I'd also like to recognize student members of Kappa Delta Pi Education Honor Society who served as our ushers today. Nisha Holly, Allison Ezel, Rachel Flanagan, Ashley Ward, Brittany Hersman, Greg Cochran, and Emily McCormick. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but sometimes Ricky has a little bit of help presenting himself, and today that was our student Joseph Whipke presenting Ricky today. We also appreciate the generosity of Greenleaf Landscaping in Marietta, Ohio, and the WVU at Parkersburg Foundation for the floral decorations. And we have with us the chair of the WVU Parkersburg Foundation, Becky D. McInnes. Becky, would you stand? Graduates, you're now alumni of West Virginia University at Parkersburg. Wherever life takes you, you always have a home and a family which will be eager to mark your return. Let those of you who are able all stand together as we sing in the best socially distanced and COVID-respectful way we can, America the Beautiful. For in this moment it is especially beautiful. And please remain standing for the recessional as our honored graduates, stage party, administration, faculty, staff, and the president's guests exit. Thank you all for joining us today. Please be careful wherever your travels may take you. And after America the Beautiful, we will have our recessional. Dr. Young, will you please lead us in our recessional?